Mess up, you can start over.
I thought you were going to ask me some questions.
We are.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
But
You just want to start off with
yeah,
your
if
name.
you want to start off name, how many years you've been volunteering, and then church, and then talk about the store and how it's changed in your addition, and then we'll ask you questions at the
Okay.
end.
Okay. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
Or were we already gone? Okay. My name is Janet Klipstein. I'm a member at St. John's Lutheran Church in De Pere. I started at De Pere Christian Outreach before it really was a store. Carol Wilms, a member of our church, did a lot of the services out of her garage. And in 1991, she decided that this was too much for her to handle and started to get people together from the different churches to organize it. I don't know exactly how that went. She's deceased right now. But she asked if Lois and I would volunteer, and I was working full-time at the time, and you know how you always got all these excuses. You can't do it because you're working full-time. Well, I decided I can give the outreach a half a day. And so I started on Saturdays, and I'm still coming on Saturdays, but I have added one Monday to it also. I was one of the first day managers there because of it just opening and me starting back in 1991. After that, we went to the Ford Bakery because we were really getting large, and then from there we went to St. Francis Parsonage House, and that was really a neat place, and a lot of people can't see why we left it. But we were getting some complaints about the stairs and the safety, and some people that came in regularly couldn't make the steps any longer. And so with one of our members finding our chance of buying the new Christian Outreach, the old garage or the old farmers, we decided to go there, and now we have grown so much that we are at the point where we are going to be adding on in April.
Do you want to talk about the addition? I don't really know much about it, but how much are you adding on?
I really don't know. You're going to have to catch one of the other volunteers.
Okay.
If you talk to Irv Kunin, he's the person that's in charge of that.
Okay.
So he would know. I just know we're starting in April and we can't wait.
Okay. Let's see here.
How do you think DPCO can continue to help both the community and its own volunteers in the future?
The DPCO helps a lot of people. It's amazing how many more people we have attracted since we opened the new store here on the west side of De Pere. Somebody told me that the west side of De Pere is more needy. I can't say that it's right or wrong, but it was an interesting comment that they said that west side. And we do get many, many more donations than we did when we were on the east side. And so with the involvement of all the additions and the growth in the donations, I can see us going for many years.
Do you feel like volunteering gives you a purpose?
Definitely. I have always wanted to volunteer a little bit when they were talking about it, and so as I retired, I've been volunteering in the De Pere Christian Outreach more and more. I volunteer quite a bit in the community and at my church, but I thought the DPCO was a place to really help people that needed it.
Would you say that you're addicted to volunteering?
I kind of think so.
What was the transition from, you said you worked full-time to, I guess, volunteering at DPCO?
Well, I was working full-time as a teacher,
Yeah.
and so I didn't have, I at first thought, well, you know, you only got Saturday and Sunday. When you're working full-time, you're raising 2 children and whatever. And, you know, many people make the excuse, well, I just can't go there and work, you know. But I thought, because people needed me, I really needed to give up that 2 hours or 3 hours and work there, or volunteer there.
Has it been rewarding for you?
Definitely. I wouldn't change it. I'll continue until I can't physically do it anymore. And because we have people at the outreach that are in their 90s that are volunteering, so I've got a little ways to go yet.
Do you think that it helps your volunteers kind of stay in an active lifestyle?
Oh, definitely. If you have to think about other things, your mind stays more alert and whatever, and you do get that feeling, oh, I helped someone today. And, you know, when you get people, being day manager, I sometimes have people that you help out by just donating, not charging them for anything, and they cry and whatever, and you have to feel good about some of these situations afterward.
How do you feel that DPCO is using your talents?
Well, I am a day manager and I do like being the idea of leadership, so I'm okay there. And numbers and money, fine. My computer skills aren't too great, but they have me making signs, and so with my teacher background, signs and posters and bulletin boards, all that kind of stuff, kind of just fit into my talents, so they're using me well.
Could you maybe talk about what you do as a day manager, like in a regular shift?
On a regular shift, basically, I work the houseware area is my department, so I have to make sure that that's cleaned and dusted and organized. And I take in as much as I can on the days that I work, and then the other days that I don't work, I check to make sure that the people who did work those days and put things in my area, that it's put in the right places. And if someone comes in and wants a voucher for gas or a voucher for clothes, or they're picking up furniture, I make sure all the paperwork is compiled and done correctly.
Have you always been a day manager, or has your roles shifted as you've been there longer?
Only the amount of work I have to do. When we first started out, the first Saturdays when I started back in 1991, there was hardly anything basically to do. We didn't have the organization that we need now because of how it has grown. And so basically I went there for 3 hours, did what I saw that I thought needed to be done, did the cash drawer, brought it to the bank, and that was about all I did. Now it's much more involved.
Awesome.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of really good information there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in
Oh,
today.
Thank you.
Now I can go to church and put out communion, see?
There you go.